Our last hot off the press story before we take a look at one or two stories from last week. Put the big boy pants on and listen to the whole article before we get angry. Because this is quite a triggering story by its title. By its title. Because AJ, I'll just say this to you right now. There has been, before I even bring up the news article, there is outrage over Barbenheimer, over the Barbenheimer memes. The outrage has erupted. It has gone nuclear. Now,
no pun intended.
Considering what I'm about to say, that might have been the worst pun I ever did. When I read the article, when I heard about the article, and I was like, oh, for Christ's sake, people are getting angry about memes now. Kill me. Just stop. Ugh. Then I read it and I was like, okay, no, actually, this kind of makes sense. Let me bring it up. There's something that we haven't considered with all the memes, the Barbenheimer memes, that it made me go, oops, should have thought about that. Okay, so here's the full story. Where we at? So basically, the Barbenheimer tweets have been slammed by Warner Brothers Japan. Now, you got to remember, Barbie was released by Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Oppenheimer was not. Just bear that in mind for this, yeah? So this is a focus on what Warner Brothers are doing with their Barbie marketing, yeah? In relation to the Barbenheimer tweets. Warner Brothers Japan has issued a statement in which it criticizes what it describes as extremely regrettable Barbenheimer tweets shared from the official Barbie Twitter account in the US. The statement, posted on Japan's own Barbie account, where it has been liked 75,000 times, reads after translation. We consider it extremely regrettable that the official account of the American headquarters for the movie Barbie reacted to the social media postings of Barbenheimer fans. We take this situation very seriously. We are asking the US headquarters to take appropriate action. We apologize to those who were offended by this series of inconsiderate reactions. Warner Brothers Japan. The phrase, or the hashtag rather, no Barbenheimer, has been trending in Japan in recent days, as many Twitter users have been disturbed by online memes and imagery of mushroom clouds and explosions juxtaposed with more playful Barbie pictures. Many claim the imagery trivializes nuclear weapons and the devastating fallout of the bomb on the country and citizens of Japan. Warner Japan's frustration stems from the Barbie account's positive responses to Barbenheimer images, including one to a viral fan-made poster shared by the film account at Discussing Film. The fictional poster features Oppenheimer actor Cillian Murphy carrying Barbie-star Margot Robbie on his shoulder. We've all seen this image now in the foreground as nuclear flames engulf the background. In response to the post, the Barbie movie account replied, "It's going to be a summer to remember." Twitter, which has recently rebranded to X, thank you, Elon, added a community note to the post highlighting the historical context of the image. At 8:15 a.m. on August 6, 1945, an atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima for the first time in human history. The particular nature of the damage caused by the atomic bombs is that mass destruction and mass murder occurred instantaneously and indiscriminately, the note reads. The initial post and its response has drawn ire from Twitter users in Japan. At Karafune said, "I absolutely can't condone the act of jokingly spreading tweets that make fun of the atomic bombing that killed so many people in Japan. I strongly demand that the related tweets be immediately retracted and deleted. Hashtag no Barbenheimer." One No Barbenheimer post viewed 7 million times and liked 34,000 times reads, "The official Barbie movie account is completely on board with the atomic bomb and mushroom cloud memes, so Barbie is a no-go as well. Oppenheimer doesn't have a release date in Japan yet, but its subject matter means it will be a sensitive and complex one for Universal's local distributor Toho should it get one. Warner Brothers declined to comment. I'm just going to leave this little meme up here. With respect, AJ, I'd like to go first on this one.
Okay.
I can see both sides of this. Now, before taking sides and before saying the easy, oh, everyone's so easily offended now, which they are, let's focus specifically on this situation. Because I don't believe for a single moment that any of those memes were created with joking about the atomic bomb in mind. I don't believe that the very talented visual artists who created those memes thought, oh, man, let's make a joke about the atomic bomb. I don't think that was the case. I believe it was just a bit of marketing to go with the counter programming that Barbenheimer essentially is. So do I think that they are intentionally offensive? Absolutely not. However, I am a Franco-Britannic white male. I have never had a nuclear bomb dropped on my country. And I thoroughly suggest that anyone who lands in the same boat as me, as in hasn't had a nuclear bomb dropped on their country, shuts up and doesn't take sides on this one. Because maybe, just maybe, if you are part of a country that has been victim of one of the most darkest times in modern or all of human history, if you've been a victim of a nuclear attack, you might be offended by these memes. It's once again a question of, I sure as hell can't speak for the experience that they've had, but God damn it, am I going to be there to defend it and say, yeah, they got the right to be offended if they want? But I still don't think the memes are created to offend. AJ, your thoughts?
Pretty much a cosign. Like, there's not much to say. Like, sometimes we need to stop and think. It's clearly in relation to one of what we said at the top of the show, the biggest box office weekend for a long time. You have to link them. You have ways of doing it, and the story is the story of Oppenheimer. It is what it is. However, when I say it is what it is, it's also a time to be sensitive. It's also a time to react and realize sometimes we make mistakes. You know, there are many mistakes along the way where people don't realize how they are offending another culture, and they take the appropriate action to apologize. And I believe that any designer who's come out can say there was no ill will intent and put your public apology out. And I believe that something like Warner as well, where they have declined to comment, and I know it sounds like a little Warner civil war. It's not about that. It's a case of acknowledge the error. It's better to just say, I'm sorry straight away, and just not move past it, but move past it in the sense that it was a mistake. We didn't realize. Yes, that would be highly insensitive of us to have thought of it, to make jokes of that. You know, it's a summer to remember XYZ. When to some people, historically, that was a time period that they don't want to remember. They have to acknowledge it. We have to, the same way Germany acknowledges a lot of their, you know, Auschwitz is there to be a history lesson. The same way this film is here to show us why this bomb came about, what is going on. Just acknowledge that behind every joke there is someone who could get offended and could get. Here's the thing about offense: if you are offended with reason, you're allowed to be offended, and in those cases, apologies are owed, and that's what I believe on this. Give an apology where it's owed, especially when it is something highly offensive to people's history, culture, and very well-being.
Yeah, I think we've actually handled this quite well between the two of us. I don't think there's anything more that needs to be added. Yeah, guys, what do you think? Like, please tell me you're in the voice of reason here and you're not about taking sides and you're just seeing both sides of the story. Let us know. And if you're not in that boat too, I mean, with respect, get a clue, but let us know what your thoughts are down below. And subscribe to the channel for more controversial movie stories, because that seems to be our bloody niche at the moment.